How y'all doing? It is 10:26, which is not really early. I mean, I've been up since 30. I think I don't know what time. It was early, but I ain't. It's before lunch, so I'm holding the phone. So if it look like you seasick, you're not seasick. The phone just wiggling. Make sure y'all hit that like button when y'all come in. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I had a thought. Hey, baby, check and make sure that you can hear me. Um, I had a thought, y'all. So I was watching TikTok, as you know where I get most of my content from, right? And something occurred to me. When you're on social media, I understand that there's a certain level of responsibility to what we say and the things we say and do and how we present and carry ourselves on social media. I get that. I do. Regardless of whether you got 10 followers, 1,000 followers, 10,000, or a million followers, there are certain things that you should be aware of and that you should be mindful of when you're on social media. I get that. And I don't know how to say this. Okay. So I was watching this clip on TikTok. And it was Love and Hip Hop. And that is an international thing. That's just not people being on social media and being live on social media. That's not it. That is a television show with actual people who are on television. And it got me to thinking about something. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. My headphones went off for some reason. That's crazy. I don't know why my headphones went off. Anyway, so there was a clip on there, and it was Love and Hip Hop Miami, and it was Shay. If anybody remembers Shay, Shay used to date Scrappy, and she was on one of those love shows. I want to say she was on the one with um Flavor Flav. But she was on the love show, on one of the love shows when they first came out. So anybody who knows Shay, that's who that is. Now, I don't know the girls that were on there, the bigger girls that were on there. I don't really know who they are, where they came from. I'm assuming they trying to be some kind of rapper, some kind of whatever. I don't know. So, but one of them name is Zoe and the sister. So I'm talking about one normal sized woman, Shay. She thick, but she just what you wouldn't call her fat. You wouldn't call her fat. And Zoe and her sister, who you would call fat or overweight or whatever the politically correct term is. I'm fat, so I don't know the politically correct term. I just say the term that they call me fat. Um, okay, so here's the scenario. You know how on shows like Love and Hip Hop and things like that, how they like to have come to meeting, come to Jesus moments. We all gonna sit around a table and air out our differences so they can be a big fight and they can throw a drink and all that stuff. So one of the big girls, now she is a big girl, and she's not just a big girl. I'm a big girl, and we all know the big girls. I'm talking about the ones that I can't hide. You can't hide being fat. Let me start by saying that you can't hide being fat. On no level can you hide it. I can come up on this phone as close as you want to. You still know I'm fat. Hell, my forehead fat. So you can't hide being fat. But but that's not my personality. That's my body size. That's my personality. I'm a big girl, but that's not my personality. Some big girls, they make that their personality. They over exaggerate their heaviness. They go out of their way to wear the smallest things, not in their size. If I can, if I got it on, so I can wear it, and that kind of thing. So yeah, so she came up to the girl. So we're like I was explaining, baby. The scenario that got me thinking is, and I'm gonna give you the scenario, and then I want y'all to put yourself in the places of these people, so you can understand what I'm talking about. This is the scenario. A girl brought another girl a pregnancy test saying that her friend was pregnant by the girl's boyfriend. So we talking about a couple and two girls. A big girl and another girl. So she brings a pregnancy test to the girl. Hey, Batman. So she brings a pregnancy test to the girl. She says, this is your boyfriend's baby. And then the girl says, well, I want to talk to the girl. So they have this thing. We're going to meet and we're going to talk. Cool, cool, cool. So they get to what looked like a warehouse, but it's probably a soundstage or something. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But it looked like, it didn't look like a restaurant or nothing. It just looked like somewhere they found to go be. I don't know. So it's the girl, the big girl. The other girl who says she's pregnant is not there. She is on a video call. That's right, Batman. I'm about to tell you what happened in. She's on a video call. So she's not physically there. It's just the big girl, the couple, and the video. Come to find out that the pregnancy test is not real. The girl has never met the boyfriend in person. And the big girl knew that. But they wanted to start something with the girl and the couple. Cool, cool, cool. Now, here's where what I'm about to talk about comes into play. So, the girlfriend and the big girl get into an argument. They go back and forth. If y'all know anything about love and hip hop in any city, you know somebody gonna fight. It's gonna be some kind of argument. Somebody, what is my eyebrow doing? One day I'm gonna buy some makeup, y'all, and I'm gonna do a thing on here and see if I can fix my eyebrows. But that ain't got nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Anyway, so the big girl and the girlfriend get to arguing. At one point during the argument, I guess the girlfriend called the big girl fat or big or whatever. You know how you argue, and when you say what you go say, I'm fat. Let me tell you something. Like I was talking to DC, I talked her through the scenario before I came on here to talk to y'all. When you're in the middle of an argument, thank you, Batman. When you're in the middle of an argument with somebody, especially somebody who's putting something on your relationship, you know what I'm saying? Who's talking about your significant other, saying your significant other do this, and the third. Whatever. I have no control, hey AG, over what comes out my mouth. I am a fat woman. I am a fat black woman. I'm an old fat black woman. So if you tell me these things, if you say these things to me, ain't nothing I can say because they true. And in turn, I'm going to look at you and I'm going to talk about whatever you got wrong with you. One eye, bald headed, whatever. I'm going to talk about you. We arguing. This is not a polite discussion. This is the beginning of a fight. So, fast forward. The big girl's sister comes to an event that the girlfriend is holding. Well, I mean, once I get to walking, I might hit the gym, but I've been fat since I was little. So, you know, I don't know if the gym is going to do anything, but thank you for the tip. Appreciate it. So the big girl's sister confronts the girlfriend about calling her sister fat, about the argument, about stuff she said. Now, the sister did not tell, the big girl's sister did not tell her sister what went on. She did not tell her sister why there was an argument, why there was a fight. All she told her sister was that she called me fat, she attacked me, da 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 da. And as a sister, should I hit the... I don't know what that means. But if it ain't gonna, hey, it ain't gonna hurt you. Do what you gotta do. Anyway, so the sister confronts the girlfriend and they get into it. Now, after the event is over with, because the event had some other stuff that happened, and I'm not talking about that right now. But the event was a hot mess. The event was for black women, uplifting black women, black positivity, body positivity, skin positivity. So that's what the whole event was about. And the sister of the big girl confronts the girlfriend and goes in it. They go into it and da 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 da. They get into it. Now, after the event is over with, these two come and they sit down at the table and they talk. And the girlfriend tells the sister what happened. And then the sister said, well, you could have called her anything. You could have called her bald-headed scallywag and all that. Well, here's my thing. If you have, so it's okay to offend bald-headed people, but it ain't okay to offend fat people. Here's my issue. I understand that the world has changed and how we confront and talk to each other and things like that. I get that that's different. I get it. I get that it's not like before. Because back in the day when I was young, when I was these people, there was no political correctness. We said what we wanted to say. That is what it was. We didn't try. There was no shame. There was no shaming. There was bullying. There was jonesing. There was fighting. That's what it was. And I understand that things have changed. Cool. But if me and you argue, me and you beefing, me and you got something going on, I'm going to put it to you like this. I'm going to put it to you in the terms of what we do on YouTube. If you and I are on a panel together and you come at me sideways, I'm going to come, like I said, I'm going to come back at you upside down. Like I said yesterday. If you come at me sideways, I'm coming at you upside down. A view is a view. It is what it is. I gotta do what I gotta do. TC, hi baby. If you call me a fat, raggedy mouth dyke, I am all those things. Now, maybe there are better ways to say it, but I am all those things. You're not talking about every fat black dyke. That's not what you're talking about. You're talking about me. And if I come at you and call you whatever you are, I'm not talking about every whatever you are. Sophia, I hope I said your name right. Sophia, I hope I said your name right. In an argument, I can't take that moment in the heat of it is early. I came on early, y'all. Anyway, in the heat of an argument, I'm not taking anybody else into consideration but the person I'm arguing with. I'm not taking anybody else into consideration but the person, because all I see right now, I got tunnel vision. If me and you on a panel and there's 13 people on the panel, I see only one person, the person that came at me. I got tunnel vision. Everybody else is gone. The chat is gone. The panel is gone. It's just me and you. I don't have time to sit up there and wonder if I'm hurting some random person's feeling because I'm cussing you out. Because here's the thing. I have no problem with understanding that you shouldn't call people certain things just to be calling them. But if I called you a fat, bald-headed booger wolf, I'm not talking about everybody with short hair that's overweight. I'm talking about you. When I hear people, and maybe because that's not how I think, but when I hear people going back and forth, talking about each other, and you know, and for everybody on YouTube, y'all know the beef sector, I done heard some crazy shit. I will sit up there, I don't even know who now, y'all know I don't know nobody's name, I don't know what they're arguing about, I don't know what started it. I done probably came in after they've been arguing for about 35 minutes, so I'm clearly at the tail end of this argument. But I done heard some crazy stuff that people call each other. And never one time did I go, was I offended when somebody called somebody else fat? When somebody called somebody else ugly? When somebody else called somebody else Stanky. I was never offended by any of those things because you wasn't arguing with me. You was arguing with whoever the hell you was arguing with. I get that we have to be, I get that there are millions of people in the world, and social media and the internet has given the world access to to one person. We all have access. If you get online, even if only 14, 12, 1, 2 people come in this live right now, 1,000, a million people can see the video later. So social media and the internet, hey Heather, has made Hamoda, I don't know what that is, but hello, has made our very small worlds huge. It has made them universal. However, if I'm not speaking to you, if I'm not speaking to the general public, if I'm not making a blanket statement about all people, me and you arguing shouldn't affect anybody in the audience. Because I ain't talking about them. I'm not talking about them. I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to you. Hey, Valerie, I'm talking to you. It's me and you that's got an issue. I don't have issue with the world. I don't have issue with everybody. I ain't squaring up with every fat woman in America. It's just me and you. Now, here's where other people should be offended. At the same dinner, at the same meeting, yes, Shafayat, I'm not saying that we should not be aware and conscious of what we say. I'm not saying that. Because at the very same meeting that I was talking about, the same dinner, a darker skinned Latino, she's an Afro Latino. It's what is her name? She's beautiful. She is gorgeous. She is AI beautiful. And she's on Love and Hip Hop Miami. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I just can't think of her name. And she is a very dark skinned Afro Latino woman. There's another girl. I don't know what. I think her name is Flo. And she is a black. I don't know. Amara. Yes. Amara is stunning. She is stunningly, ridiculously beautiful. Just, I look at her and I go, what her name? Well, let me go take my Quasimodo hunchback ass over here, because you look at her and you go, I couldn't even purchase that. I don't have enough money ever to have that. You know what I'm saying? That's how pretty she is. So this is where she is AI. She is like somebody drew her and then put her in a computer and said, make somebody ridiculously beautiful, and Amara popped up. So her and a girl that was lighter. I guess she's Afro Latina too. I don't know. I don't know. Again, I don't watch Love and Hip Hop. I watch TikTok and these clips kept popping up. Here's where you have to be mindful. Here's where the argument spread from the two people that were arguing. Here's where that happens. Here's the difference between me and you going back and forth and me and you calling each other fat bitches, and an argument between two people spreading out to the world. So I don't know why they was arguing. It got something to do with a man. So let's just come there, and it's got something to do with a man. So in the midst of the argument, the lighter skinned girl, whose name is Flo, she's a regular looking girl. Was she unattractive? No. Would I say, ooh, she's so pretty? Again, no. She was regular. She had on a lot of makeup, and she was one Snicker bar away from being fat. And she was, in the setting, they were all beautiful black women, but in the grand scheme of things, she was just regular, degular, smegular. But they got into it, Amada and Flo. All of a sudden, she jumps up and said, you just jealous because you are, she called her dark skin, and that's why black bitches don't like us light skin. as a light-skinned black woman, as a very pale light-skinned black woman, I have never in the history of all my blackness thought that somebody was more thought that I was more attractive than somebody because of the color of my skin. I never in my that is when an argument between two people becomes a statement amongst all people. Because she jumped up and said, that's why your man called you a black bee. That's what's wrong with you black bees. Y'all are jealous of light skin. Now, number one, from what I understand, the flow person bleaches her skin. That's number one. Number two, I'm light skinned. She brown. This is like, I'm not saying it to say, oh, it's so pretty. It's not, because mess around and go out in the sun for 13 minutes, I look like somebody smacked me in the face with some blush. So no, it ain't. It's all right. It's all right. But it's not my personality. It's not a deal breaker. As a child, my grandmother looked like Cicely Tyson. Dark, beautiful, shiny, just sun hit her and she glowed. Just, and there were times when I would get in the mirror and I would put her makeup on and I would wish that I was her color and I would wish that I looked like her. So trust me when I tell you, not all light-skinned black women are sitting up here thinking about how lucky they are to be light-skinned. We don't. It is just a product of birth for a lot of us. Now some people go and bleach their skin and mess up their skin and that's on them. I don't fault nobody. Hey, I don't knock how anybody gets down. I don't knock how anybody makes themselves feel good about themselves. I might not do it, just like, but they ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. But that's how an argument between two people affects people around them, because she making statements talking about that's why your baby daddy call you a black bee and dark skinned bees are jealous. That is how what somebody says to one person affects us all. Me and you arguing back and forth. Don't come. Let me tell you something. Don't come up in my comment section talking about you offended because I call one specific person fat. I look in the mirror, call myself fat every day. You mad about that? Hey, Antoinette. I get on here and call myself fat. And ain't one person said, ooh, don't call yourself fat. Because I'm not talking about you. I'm not specifically talking about the masses. I'm not talking about the world. I'm talking about myself or one person I'm arguing with. Like I said, in the beginning of this live, I said, as being on social media, I'm not an influencer. I'm not a social media star. I just have a platform on YouTube, on social media. My wife and I. And I'm trying to get back out and be on here more, like I'm coming live today, because something hit me. And we do have a responsibility when we're on our social media platforms, if you're a content creator, to be mindful of what you say when you're speaking to the masses. You do have a responsibility what you say. There are consequences to your actions. But if I'm in the middle of an argument and me and you beefing, and me and you on a panel, if I make a video specifically, because if I make a video and I'm specifically talking about somebody, that's how I'm going to come on the video. This video is a venting video about so-and-so and such, and I'm about to talk about so-and-so and such and such. But I don't get into the beef. I don't get into the arguing and fussing and fighting, because that expends too much energy, and I'm too old for that. I ain't mad enough. If I don't, like I said, huh? Yeah, it's not like me and you about to square up in the parking lot, meet me out to school over with. Yeah, I mean that's me. If that's not how you get down, Again, I don't knock how anybody else gets down. I don't knock how anybody else vents their anger. I don't knock how anybody else vents their upsetness. But that ain't me. That being said, I will cuss you out. I will hurt your feelings. I will go back and forth. I don't like doing it, but please don't come at me. We had trolls a few seconds ago, and they said what they said, and it didn't bother me. And I responded just like I talk to everybody else. Baby says ignore them, they'll go away. The reality is a troll's life is trolling. So I ain't had no problem with them. That's their job. That's how they get down. I ain't got no problem with them. I talk to them just like I talk to you. Again, no beef. I don't just and I don't knock the beef sector. That's the beef sector of people that beef. I don't knock that. Because that's entertaining. People see that. People like to see that. That just ain't me. But also, when I sit and I listen and I hear it, I also don't get offended by what they say to other people. Because they ain't talking to me. All I'm saying is if everybody ain't talking to you. It's like the main character syndrome. People feel like they got to be main characters in other people's stories. They feel like if you and I are talking, if they're not included, then we being mean to them. So they insert themselves and make it everybody's problem when it ain't a problem in the first place. If you argue with somebody, I have never in the history of arguing this, heard somebody sit up there and police what they say when they cussing, when they fussing, when they fighting. And I don't want to say we should not be so sensitive. Because you never know what a person's trauma or what a person's life is. I don't want to negate people's lived experiences and what they went through and what they've had to endure in their lifetime. However, I do want people to temper that with common sense. If somebody's not talking to you, they're not talking about you. That's just it. If somebody's not talking to you, arguing at you, is not arguing with you, they're not talking about you. They're not thinking about you. And you shouldn't take that to heart. It's like, case in point, she's a rapper, and I don't know her name. So for folks saw it, ask me, I don't know her name. But she is a big girl. She's a big baby. And she ordered a Lyft. And the Lyft driver denied her when he went to pick her up because of her size. As a big person, as a fat girl, I felt for her. Because I can't imagine ordering a Lyft and the Lyft not taking me. That being said, people who provide a service reserve the right to deny service for whatever reason. And she was, she was a really big girl. Like 2 airplane seat big girl. Like can't squeeze in the seat to not have to pay for the next. Like, and she was a pretty little girl. But she was She was the big girl. And if y'all know what I'm talking, just look it up and y'all see what I'm talking about. Now, could she have requested a larger vehicle? Because as a big person, when me and my wife get on the airplane, I got to get well, not anymore, but I used to have to get the seatbelt extender. I used to always get the window seat so I could smush over there so I wouldn't infringe on anybody because I don't have first class money like that. You know what I'm saying? So I knew my limitations. I knew what I could and what I could not do. I know that I take up more space than other people. So I plan accordingly. You know what I'm saying? I have ordered lifts, and when we order lifts, we ordered a lift. I don't know where we were going. I think we were in Florida somewhere. Anyway, we were going on a cruise. I don't know why we had to lift. We ordered a lift. And it was a little car, and me and my wife swole in the back. You know what I'm saying? So when you do things, when somebody provides a service, and they reserve the right to refuse you service. You can go in a restaurant right now, and if you start acting up in the restaurant, they can put you out. And don't sit up there talking about I have the right to eat here. No, you don't. But, okay. I felt for the little girl, but I also understood the Lyft driver. I felt bad that she had to be denied in that way. But I also understood the Lyft driver. This is the Lyft driver's way of making money. And we don't know what his suspension was. We don't know how big the car was. We don't know what the situation was. Go get the other box. So, while I felt for her, I understood both sides of the coin. But I didn't feel attacked by the Lyft driver because he didn't take her in the car. That was her lived experience. That was what she had to deal with. And I felt sorry for her. And I felt bad for her. And I also would have brought it to social media, but that's just me. Because as much as people feel sorry for her like I do, there are going to be an equal or maybe more amount of people that be like, that she opened herself up to. Yeah. Y'all know what I'm talking about. She opened herself up to the trolls. The people are going to troll. The people are going to be like, why you didn't order the XL? Or why you ain't tell the man how big he was? Or, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, social media is a curse and it's a blessing. So, it is what it is. But I wasn't mad with all Lyft drivers because they denied this little girl because she was heavy. Y'all understand what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. If it's me and you, I'm not talking about the world. If it happened to one person, could it happen to another? Yes. But now you know what to do moving forward. If you're different, I am disabled. I have to maneuver the world differently. I can't maneuver the world like my wife. I can't maneuver the world like the majority of y'all. So I have to make the decision that I have to honor my disability and honor the thing that I do so I can be able to do what I need to do. I can't sit up there and act like I'm going to be treated like somebody who can walk into the seat, who can walk into the car, who can walk onto this, and the third. And then get mad when they don't accommodate me because I didn't take myself realistically. That's all I'm saying. There's a time for outrage. And there's a time for that ain't about me. And realistically, we need to start knowing the difference. I am not the main character. I am not the leading lady in everybody's story. I'm the leading lady in my story. I don't expect you to make me the leading lady in yours. My word is not gospel. I'm not a Bible verse. You don't have to quote me. Hell, you don't have to listen to me. I do these things for myself. I say these things for myself. And for the people that do want to listen.
Oh no. This is just myself.
I'm talking to y'all. If only y'all listen, that's cool. If other people listen, that's cool too. And I try not to say things that are offensive to people as a whole. But I have to be realistic. We all have to be realistic. Common sense has to make a comeback. Reality has to make a comeback. That's all I'm saying. If I ain't talking to you, I ain't talking about you. Well, baby, what's the last comment?
Oh shoot. After that, what you saying? Hey, good morning.
That's the last comment. Okay. I wanted to make sure I was up. All right, y'all. I've been on here 30 minutes. I just wanted to come on and give a little short live and say, hey, y'all. And let y'all know that that's what I be thinking. This is my randomness. This is the randomness that goes through my day. I may come back on here later on if something else hits me. And I hope to see y'all again. Make sure y'all like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so that every time we drop a video, you guys can join us. Or every time we go live. I think I messed that up. Hit that notification bell so that every time we drop a video, go live, you guys can join us. Remember, everything ain't about you. Bye, y'all.